Hello everybody, my name is Amy. Welcome to my channel, Snow Canyon Stitcher, where we talk about cross stitch. It's been a little over 2 weeks since my last video, but I've had a really busy couple of weeks, and it's about, and of course none of my computers or anything on. Here we go, here's my phone. It is about, well, it's 9:40 p.m. and it is February the 13th. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and I was thinking, you know what? I am not going to wait till tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and do my video. You could probably hear my grandson in the background. It's probably time for his feeding, but I'm moving forward. I'm going to do this video. I have a finish, and I made quite a bit of progress, and I was supposed to do the rest of my WIP Parade, so I think I'm prepared to do that. So I'm going to get right into it. So I am not prepared completely. I mean, I haven't sat down and thought about what I'm going to say, but I'm going to start out showing you my finish. In my last, I haven't got it completely put down, but I was testing this frame to see if it would fit, and I think it does. This came from the book. I had mentioned this in my previous video that I was thinking about doing one of the patterns in the book for Valentine's, and so I did. I started it and I was able to finish it. That came from, you know what, I didn't bring everything down. I'm gonna go get that stuff right quick. Okay, so I finished this heart from, it's in the Blackbird design book, and it's from A Heart Remembers, and there's several heart patterns in here, and I chose to do this one, and this was designed by Barb Adams. And I think it looks really cute in this frame. At first I was going to do it into a pillow, and then I found this frame and I was like, you know what? This looks perfect. So that's that one. I'm really proud of myself because I wanted to complete something for Valentine's, and usually I put it off, you know, because, well, I don't really put it off, but it always ends up that I say, okay, well, next year I'll do it. And this year I was like, nope, I'm going to do it. And I got it done. So I'm really proud of myself for that. The rest of my WIP Parade, that's the only finish I have. So I'm going to start out with my WIP Parade, and then I will merge into my current WIPs and the progress that I made. And so one of the WIPs that I have is this one, La Di Da. And I'm going to try and give the information. I know everything's written down in this book. I thought about putting tabs on these pages so it'd be easier to find, which is probably a good idea. I actually ordered me another one of these. Love Abide, I started that in 2021. It's stitched on antique ivory 36 count, and it looks like I'm using, am I using call for threads? Looks like a mixture of call for threads. Let's see, does it call for DMC? Actually, it calls for a few DMC and Fancy Floss. So there's those. And here is where I'm at. I don't think I've worked on this in a while. This is how far I am. I remember last year I did work on it, and I almost finished putting the leaves in the tree. And for some reason I felt like that was the most challenging part for me. The houses and everything was fine. This house that I stitched was fine, and I'm excited to stitch the other houses. And I think doing this WIP Parade, I'm encouraged to dig in and finish the leaves on that one tree limb over there. because this is not far from a finish. Well, it's got it's got 4 houses, but if I remember correctly, it didn't take long to stitch the house. And then the words up top are regular cross stitch, I believe. I don't think it's 1/1. Yep, they're regular cross stitch. So I should really just dig in and do this, finish this, get this done. It's such a cute pattern. I love it. So that's one that I haven't visited in a while that I need to put on my list to finish this year. I'm hoping this year that this will be a year of finishes for me. I don't mind having more than one WIP going at a time. I just don't like, it's not that I don't like having a lot of WIPs, it's that I get overwhelmed and I stress out over getting them all done, and then I don't do anything. So if that makes sense. But I think this year is going to be a year of finishes for me, because a lot of these that I've been working on for years, they're nearly finished. So this one is Brown Bird Briscornu, and I've started this one several times. This is probably like the 3rd time I've started this one. But I did write it down in here. 2023, that's not too bad. I started February the 22nd, 2023. I'm stitching it on 40 count white Zweigart with all the called for threads. And this is how far I am. Do I have the top one finished? It looks like the top one is finished, so I just have one side to do. And I just have this side here to do. So that's, like I said, it's near finish. There's no reason why I can't just dig in and get that done. And I think between each floss tube, because my goal is to do here the threads. I think in between each floss tube, the 2 weeks is more than enough time to at least have one finish. So I try to remember not to zip them up. My next WIP that I haven't had this one very long. This one is This I Know. And I think I started this one last year, so it's going to be toward the back of the book. This I Know started April the 6th, 2023. So a couple years ago. Find the front cover. This I Know. Plum Street Sampler. Paulette Stewart, sorry. And this is I didn't write any of the information down about the threads, but it's called for all the fancy flosses. These are all the fancy flosses. Such pretty colors in here. One of the things that I liked about this pattern was the bright, springy colors. Maybe if I twisted it, you can see all the colors somewhat. And there again, this is another one that's near finish. Let's see if I can get it to where that crease doesn't interfere with the way it looks. Very, very close to a finish on this one. I think I have all the sheep done in the bottom. I just have the peacock in the corner left to do. Oh, and the rest of the tree next to the church on the other side. Sorry, I'm trying to hold it still. I should have ironed these, I guess. There, you can see it better. So just the leaves, the rest of the leaves on that little tree, which looks like about 2 of them, and then the peacock, and this one's a finish. I should have this one done before Easter this year. So during this WIP Parade, I'm going to try and decide which one I'm going to focus on between this floss tube and my next floss tube. And that may be the one. This next one is Lady Liberty by Brenda Gervais. And she's upside down. Brenda Gervais. Lady Liberty. And I started this one last year, or 2023. Probably 2023. It says I had 1,200 stitches. And this is how far it is. And it looks like I'm stitching this on Picture This Plus. Is that Sterling? It's the darker one of the blues that they carry. And this one I still have quite a bit to do. I have the plant. I still have the rest of the pot and the plant. So this is quite a bit left on this one to do. So, although it's simple, easy stuff to do, we know how that is. Seems like it would be done not take long to get it done, but ends up taking a while. That one, I don't think I started the next one of this series. Or yeah, I did. So the next one comes from the Seasons of the Heart book, and I'm working on Autumn. This one. And this is how far I got. And I'm using the Call For threads. And I am stitching this, looks like a Bestitch Me fabric. Vintage oh no, it calls for that. I'm stitching it on 36 antique ivory. 36 count antique ivory. So I have finished the spring. I've done the spring. It's finished, and I think I have that one here, right here. This is the spring one that I finished. I think I finished this one in 2023. So that's how far I am on that one. And I've got pretty much all of it done. It shouldn't take much more to finish that one. Okay, the next one is, oh yes, Turkey Day. Oh, I better put this back in there. Oh, this goes in my, this I know. I love this project bag, the colors in it. It's so springy. I've had several quilt shops closed down in my area. That was my go-to for popular fabrics. It's so pretty. And now they're talking about Joann's not staying around much longer, so. But I have had a couple of new quilt shops open. And I think we're supposed to be getting a Hobby Lobby. So that's exciting. The next one is Turkey Day from Cottage Garden Samplings. And I'm not sure when I started that one. I think that one was last year. 2023 July. I'm stitching this on 36 count white tee. And that's how far I am. I remember I had to restitch his tail several times because I'd gotten off a stitch. And I think I remember suggesting that if you stitch this pattern, it's best to start with the lattice and then do the tail last, because I really got thrown off. So there's that one. And I'm stitching it with the Called For threads. Fancy flosses, maybe? Some fancy floss. There's a couple of fancy floss. The rest are DMC. And then the next one is, I think I shared this one. Yeah, I shared this one. I think that's all of the other WIPs that I have to show. The next one is, I think I did share this one, Cheerful Blooming Bouquet. I did share this one by Jeanette Douglas. So I won't go into detail about it. I didn't stitch on this the past couple of weeks. This is how far I am. It's near finish. This is going to be so pretty. I'm excited to get this one done and get it in a frame. Okay, I thought I would turn off the camera and get myself organized, but you know what? I'm just going to go with it this time. And then the next time I share my WIPs, I will have everything written down in lists so I can just refer to it instead of trying to go through that book. My last video, my previous video, I can't believe I haven't done her head yet. I had shared that I had been working on this one, Good Deeds, and I didn't have it with me. I didn't know what I'd done with it. And so I found it. And I think I had restarted it, but I went back. I was like, it was in my linen box. I was gonna restart it because I felt like I didn't like the way her dress turned out, and I had gotten off a little bit with my stitches. If I remember correctly, I had stitched her boots and everything, so I decided, you know what, I'm not going to restart it. I'm just going to go ahead and take everything out and adjust it, and that's what I did. So this is how far I am on it. So I just readjusted the plant over here. I'm just going to move it over because it was conflicting, because her dress touches that plant. And instead of restarting it, I just took this plant out. So you can see this one right here. I just took it out, and I'm just going to move it so that it lines up. And it's not going to be that bad. It's going to look okay. So that's where I'm at with that one. Usually when something like that happens, I just can't settle with myself and be happy with it. But in this case, I think it's going to be fine. So I'm just going to keep moving along with it. The other one that I shared in my previous video that I didn't have the WIP with me was Strawberry Fields Forever. And I had shared that I've already stitched this once, but I wanted to stitch it again so that it's larger. And this is the finish. And I think I finished this a couple years ago. It's pretty small. And so I decided that I would redo it, restitch it on fabric where it would be larger. And this is how far I am on that one. So it's going to be slightly larger. I just really wanted to be able, I like it, and I just wanted it to be on larger, a wee bit larger, so you can see in comparison how much larger it's going to be. And I'm excited to get it done and get it framed. So there's that one. This one I'm excited to share. So I did spend quite a bit of time on my Antong. And this is by Hands Across the Sea. And I worked diligently. I should have ironed it. I worked diligently on it, and I'm happy to report that everything is done. Everything is done except the 1/1. The flowers up top, 1/1. These right here are, these right here are 1/1. These little flowers right here. I just need to stitch those over here, and then I think there's another one right here. All of these words were 1/1. I was able to get those done since my previous video. And I stitched this flower, got it done, finished this bottom portion, got it done, and I think I still have right here in the middle, I've got to finish this little plant that comes up this side here, right in here. There's not much to it. I need to finish the one on the other side. But I made such good progress. This will be finished. This, if God willing, this will be finished by my next video. And so in the project, that's all of my WIPs that I worked on. And that's the remainder of the WIPs and my WIP Parade that I have started. In the process, did I bring that pattern? Oh, I did. In the process, I did manage to, this would be, I guess this would be haul. I have Isabella Uffendale that I'm going to start next by Hands Across the Sea. And I did find another fat quarter of Cafe a Lot, which is the same thing that the Antong is stitched on at by Lindy Stitches. She had it, and so I purchased that and got that. And I wanted to mention she included this card with my order, and it just talks about Nash Stash Startathon, March 28th through 29th. And so May the 2nd through the 4th is the Spring Mingle. July 19th through 20th is the Midsummer Stitch. September 19th through the 21st is the Harvest Moon Hangout. And then December 5th through the 7th is Jingle Ball. So these are the Save the Dates Lindy Stitches 2025 virtual events. Virtual events. Oh, my camera's acting weird. There we go. And these are all the dates for the year. If you want to stop the video and write those down. So I wanted to share that. And then I also purchased from Lindy Stitches Greetings from St. Nick's by Teresa Kogut. And this is 130 by 195. And it calls for DMC and 1 week's dye works. And so I have this blue fabric from Be Stitch Me when I was part of the month color club. And this is called Blue Moon. And I think this would be perfect for this pattern. Although it calls for 32 count, I could swing over to Be Stitch Me maybe and purchase a piece of 32 count. Maybe I'll do that. But I think this color is perfect. Perfect, perfect. And so I do have an order on its way from, I need to get a cross stitch, I need to get a project bag made for that. But I do have, and I will probably get my DMC from my stash because I have quite a bit of colors. Anyway, I have an order coming from 123 Stitch where I have a couple of Valentine's patterns in there that I purchased. Was like, well, I'm gonna get these so I'll have something next year and I won't be left high and dry and not know what to stitch for next year. And we have the Nashville Market, is that what it's called, coming up? I think it is the Nashville Market coming up, and I've been looking at some of those patterns, seeing, you know, if there's something that appeals to me, and I could do the March 28th to the 29th Nash Stash Startathon. So there's that. And last couple of weeks, I've been doing a little bit of crafting, if you can see behind me. Just a few things, and just a lot of fun. This is a pattern. I think the Always Cross Stitch pattern was a free pattern. And then my Love Letters. I believe Love Letters is from, let me grab those right quick so you can get a close-up of those. Be right back. Okay, had a little hiccup with my camera, but I think I've got it worked out. But here is the free pattern that I stitched last year. I don't remember where I got it. I'll try to find out where I located it, where it was from, and if I do find it, I'll leave it in the down below in the description box so you can find it. And it's just got walnut shells in. That's the backing. And then this one is Love Letters, and it is by, I know it's in this book. I finished this one a couple years ago. Love Letters. Okay, Love Letters, Stitching Through the Years. And I finished this March the 1st, 2022. And it's stitched on 36 count antique ivory. It's a really cute pattern. I just fell in love with this pattern. And probably still has it. I think I've seen this pattern just looking through, looking for something new to start. So I did some crafting the last couple of weeks. This is something I made. I don't know why, but I start watching those DIY Dollar Tree videos and I get inspired. So this is something I made out of it. This was a can of green beans that my son and my daughter-in-law had for dinner one night, and I purchased this plant from my local grocery store, and it turned out pretty good. This is this was air dry clay that I used in a mold, and these two here, this one and this one, they're all three air dry clay from a mold, and I just glued them to the can, and then I painted the can white with just some acrylic paint from like Walmart or something like that, and then I dabbed it with the gray paint to make it look like old concrete or something. And then I haven't painted them, but I put the little wooden balls on the bottom, and I think it turned out pretty good. This is also air dry clay from a mold, and I put a stream of them around the top and the bottom. I think it turned out cute. I love it. And then another craft that I was watching the Dollar Tree DIYs was this one. And everything you see here came from the Dollar Tree. So the little wooden hearts, they were already painted. I just glued those on. I painted these little, this is 3 of those little wooden boxes. Probably should have painted the bottom, but I didn't. And then all of these flowers are from the Dollar Tree. And then these are some little wooden mushrooms, and I just turned them upside down and glued them to the bottom. How cute is that? I loved it. I've had a lot of fun the last couple of weeks just doing DIY Dollar Tree crafts for Valentine's Day. I did it for you guys. so that it would have a pretty background to look at. There's all kinds of stuff up here. Oh, I didn't show, let me grab this one right quick. Okay, so this is yarn from the Dollar Tree, and it is luxury to no end. I had picked these colors up. Look at this. It's Chanel. I had picked these up because there was a craft where you take a foam heart and you just wrap this yarn around it, and it was so cute. But they didn't have the foam hearts at Michael's or the Dollar Tree. She said she got it from the Dollar Tree. I don't think I've ever seen them, but they're probably, I'm always late to the party, so I went ahead and I bought the yarn just in case next year they have them and I can make it. And I also, this is one of those little ceramic balloon dogs from the Dollar Tree, and I just painted it red with acrylic paint, and then I used triple thick and went over it to make it shiny. I think he's super cute. That was an easy one. Didn't have, and this is just some watercolor that I did, some watercolor roses. And then the butterfly is a fussy cut a butterfly out of a print. And then I got this frame from the Dollar Tree. So I just had a lot of fun this past couple of weeks, just playing around with my glue gun and my watercolors, and just so next year hopefully I'll have more. I'll have my finish, the heart that I cross stitched this one to display. So that was one of the reasons I did a lot of the crafts, because I didn't have a lot of cross stitch to display for Valentine's, but I'm working on it. And next video I'll be able to share the 2 new patterns that I got. They're super cute, super cute. So, but I think that's everything, guys. I am sorry my video is all over the place, but I've got it done and I'm so happy to get it done. So now I'm going to go edit it. All of my electronics, just trying to get them to agree with one another and work well together has been hard, but I'll get there. And I'm just really learning a lot how to work with the editing software and getting my computers, and I've got my iPad, I'm using it right now. My phone has been, I usually use my phone, but it's been giving me storage warnings, so I'm using my Sony right now with my microphone, and I haven't used it a lot, so I'm having to learn how to use it. But anyway, this is the conclusion of my finishing up my WIP Parade and the works in progress that I've worked on the last 3 weeks. I said a couple of weeks earlier, but it's been 3 weeks. But I hope to be back in a couple more weeks and share my progress. I think I will work on, what was the one? There was one that was near finish. I'm almost sure. I don't see why I wouldn't have Anton done in a couple of weeks by that time. And another one that when I was going through my WIPs that there's no reason for not having it done. So I will go back through them as I'm putting them away. I've got my system going, and the next time I will be better at having all the information together so that it doesn't take so long. And so you won't have to experience the time it took me to look up all those things, but my video will be choppy. And I apologize for that. But I hope everybody has a wonderful next 2 weeks, that you stay safe, and yeah. Alrighty, thank you for visiting, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, see ya, thank you.